Hey, Jet, you're muted.
Rookie error, thank you. Can you hear me now? Okay,
Yes, sir. Hey, Jet.
yes. Is everything good? I guess it is. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's good.
It's good, okay. Number 2, review and act on minutes of February 9th, 2025. If there's any changes, corrections, commissioners, on those minutes. Make a motion to accept the minutes as written. Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Head to accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Hey, we got a tie there. Commissioner Williams, I'll give it to you there. Second by Commissioner Williams. All those in favor approve the minutes of February 9th, 2025, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 3, audience to individuals, Miss Lori King, you want to come speak with us today about TAC office voter registration or what? Or Donnie's gonna do both of them, okay?
I'm gonna let her go first.
Okay, you're gonna let her go first. Okay, Miss Sonia Scott, county/district clerk, is here to talk about Mills County elections. Good morning, Miss Scott.
Need some light reading. Come on. I've given you some light reading. This has been brought to you by the Texas Association of County Election Officers. They've asked us to present this to our commissioner's court and our judge. This basically is the same that the Secretary of State upgraded their teams, which is what they use for jury management and voter management, and the problems that they are having, which is causing the elections office and the voter registration office to do multiple things manually, which it's not. So our reports entering foods, the data is not as clean. I'm gonna let Lori speak to the voter registration and the vote on that. On our side, what my office does, it is a much more manual process. It is taking a lot of time. They are saying expect higher overtime because of this. Finding people more mistakes because you're going to be doing this manually instead of an automated process because we don't have their system up and running it. And they've asked us to make sure that our commissioners are aware of this in case there is any legal problems down the road. Basically, we're going to be tired.
Yeah.
Because we are doing this, a process that should be automated. We're having to go back to more of a manual process to do this. And the resources that we typically have to rely on through the Secretary of State are not available to us.
Why are they not available?
They went through a software conversion and it didn't work.
So are they giving anything? So what if we didn't put enough money in there for overtime and stuff for these employees, or have they said anything about that and how we're gonna cover that?
And most of your overtime that, I mean, they've already scheduled a staff for people who have a polling location right now. So, and that is an unfunded mandate. So yesterday the polls were open from 12 to 6. We got here about 11:15, 11:30, and we were out of here by 6:15 last night. We had 8 voters. So you had 6 people covering 8 voters. So there's nothing, I can't short the number of people because of statutory requirements. But it's just for smaller counties, and we are making that known. We're tracking how many people we have on the extended hours. Saturday we had to come in, the polls opened at 7, they closed at 7. We had 26 voters. The math doesn't add up.
Yeah, tough deal. Y'all spend a lot of time, hard work.
As far as our office goes, I'm trying to manage the comp time as well as I can. But that basically means I'm covering the longer shift and letting my staff have 8-hour shifts, and then I cover the front and the back. Bless you.
Well, you'll do a wonderful job, great job. It's a shame,
Is the glitch in the ballots herself?
No, the ballot's fine. It's not the ballot. The ballot is fine. The ballot is processed. The information from the machine to the Secretary of State is what's causing us issues. Lori can speak to the voter registration part on that. It takes longer to process a person coming into the line because the poll book that has your name in it is not, it's saying it's not correct.
Yep.
It's not correct. Our poll book went from 170 pages to 240.
Yes.
So where did we get those extra voters? So we're having to manually double check things a lot. We're on the phone a lot more. I mean, they're calling all the time. What about this? This person looks different. I thought this person moved, but he's in the poll book. So the forms, just the whole thing they put out didn't work. At the end of the night, you have a 10-digit VOID, which is your unique voter identification number. We used to be able to batch load those up to the Secretary of State and run our reports to make sure that everyone that said they voted, registered with the state, has voted. We are now having to manually 10-key those in per voter. So you have to go find that voter, add his participation, add it to the right party. It is a multiple step process instead of, here's all the people that voted on this day. And so the more times you have to touch an individual piece of paper or an individual number, the margin of error increases greatly.
So when we don't have that many people, it's not too terribly bad, but if you were a county that had a lot of people voting at one day, you would be swamped.
Yes, and if this was a presidential year, it would be, sorry, that was my timer, I had 5 minutes.
Well, at least you want. Let's go a little bit more.
Well, it's Lori's turn.
Lori's turn.
Right, Ms. Scott, thank you. I know we all
Nothing, I don't think you can do except for talk to your
stay correct.
state reps, talk to your congressional reps, talk to the other lawmakers that are out there and say, hey, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Don't discount us just because we're a small county. It is still an issue. The number of phone calls we get, the hangups we see in the line, it takes people longer. This ballot is already an 8.5 by 17 piece of paper and it is front and back. It's going to take you a hot minute to go vote. So when you add the time that you're gonna stand in line, because we're gonna have to verify more information from you about you to make sure that you should actually be voting. It's taking longer. The room for error is greater.
You can't require the voter cards.
Well, I'm gonna let Lori talk about that, but I would be prepared to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ms. Scott. I don't even know, have a clue where my voters are.
Well, you just got it.
I don't think.
After the voting started, you got it.
Ms. King, go ahead. Yes, ma'am. Good morning and,
So I can tell you that between our two offices, we have worked absolutely as hard as we possibly can to make sure that the impact to the voter has been minimized. We've done everything we can. It has been quite a chore. The voter registration cards were supposed to have been mailed out by December 6th. We were not given, my office was not given the list until February 11th and 12th. Instead of 3,500 cards, the list contained almost 4,000 voters. I came across personally as I was putting, because Annette helped us separate, and then we're individually stamping with a postage stamp these cards for mailing. I was going through it and I was saying, they haven't been in this county for 10 years. So we were setting this, and we have a big staff. Expanding on that, not just voter registration cards, they will be in the mail. I just got mine today in the mail. So I have shared screenshots of the program that they're using, the new team system, with our state rep for the Secretary of State. I have shared I have email upon email saying, these are my concerns. Data's not sticking in the system. And when you have voter registration issues and you have people showing up that aren't eligible to vote in this county, whatever you want to call it, we have problems with this system. And I've been very concerned with the integrity of the data contained in that system. But like I said, I'm not concerned about Mills County so much because I know that we have,
Yeah, they did a great job.
well, we've put our heart and soul into making sure that the voter is an impacted, minimal impact to the voter.
But the Secretary of State's office kind of dropped several balls, including getting those voter registration cards out of the way.
Yes, they've been very, I know I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be blunt,
Yeah.
they've been very dismissive, and non-responsive on a lot of things.
But it's not just Mills County, it's
It is statewide.
statewide.
Yeah, it is not a Mills County issue. Now, I will say that the bigger counties, they don't care. They have 200 people working elections. And they don't care what data is produced. Not all of them, but we care. And that's why we're working so hard to make sure that everything is as accurate as we can make it. But when you have an extra 500 voters on your rolls, something's wrong. I mean, they're pulling people that haven't been here in 10 years, 15 years. We had a call, this lady called and said, I got a voter registration card for my son, I canceled him 15 years ago. I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah.
Except for canceling again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're doing our best, it's very time consuming, I'm concerned about how this is gonna play out after the election. I'm
Well,
concerned about the
when
data.
they come to vote, and this may be a you question, they have to prove ID.
Yeah.
ID,
Yeah.
photo ID, yes. They do not have to have a voter registration card, but
But just because there's 4,000 voter registration cards,
doesn't mean they're all.
don't mean
the
nothing,
same.
really.
They will come back.
Yeah.
But at this point, they are active registered voters in Mills County according to our rules. So. And as the cards are returned to us, for whatever reason, those are being addressed and handled, but it's been like a burden.
I know it's been frustrating. I know,
Yeah.
it won't help but hang in there. I know it's a tough deal, but
Well, yeah,
they're doing a great job.
just needs to be on record that.
Yes.
I'm gonna add one other thing to
Yes.
that. I'm stopping your timer so you don't have to listen to that.
Yeah.
And I know Kara's on the screen as well. This also affects jury management, and I know we've got some county juries that are coming up. So we use the same voter rolls to pull your juries. And so we just impound a grand jury and you pull 125 and people that have, you can request a permanent age exemption, and we do this for everybody. So anyone that has put in a permanent age exemption, those didn't carry over in the new. So we have a bunch of very angry people saying, I've already filled that paperwork out, why did you lose it? Or a medical disposition or something where they can't sit on a jury. And we're having to try to catch those if we remember them, but you're talking years of permanent medical exemptions or permanent age exemptions that didn't get re-put back into the system, and the only way to get them in there is a manual process that we don't have the manpower to do right now. Also, when you print a jury report, it's not coming over with their addresses, so jury cards, you're having to look up those addresses individually to send out jury cards, which is another huge manual process. They're working on it. The polling locations, we go in and we set the polling locations for your thing in your team's management system. The next day you go look and they're all gone. So you're having to spend all that time that you inputted everything into the system yesterday. You're gonna re-input it in the system today because it's not saving it. And they're aware of it, and we're sending them tickets to say, hey, this isn't working. Polling locations that have been closed, Mount Olive has been closed for 10, 15 years at least. It's still showing as an active polling location. Star ISD is still showing as an active polling location. So just, there's integrity issues within the system, and we're doing everything we can to maintain a quality spotless election. Just, it is a manual process, and anytime you make it a manual process, your room for error is much greater.
Well, thanks for bringing this to our attention. Commissioners, you have any questions?
Yeah, we got lots, but it's not on the agenda.
Okay. Right. Moving on, number 4, consider an act on approving the accounts payables. Commissioner, go through the accounts payables. Questions or comments?
Yes, if y'all will notice on, page 7. There's $5,098.22 bill for the near KW. That was for a water pump. We have, and the labor. Water pump was $1,700 and something plus the labor. The truck is still over there, needs brakes. The point of needing brakes bad. The wishbones are what we call them, all the bushings in the rear end of the truck were wore out. It'll have to be put back in, and the rear end of the truck will have to be realigned. We're looking at basically another $4,000 to get it done, which is really gonna hurt that Fund 15 account or line item. Cause I think, what was it in there, Jason, start with 25, 20 or 25, so you're pulling 9 of it out to work on one truck.
Okay. All right, anything else, commissioners?
That $16 one on that same page, that $16.99, that's that ball valve that busted. When Dale and I were using, putting that wrap material in precinct 1's yard. That's all it was, a ball valve.
Okay. Anything else, commissioners? Hearing none, I'll make a motion, we approve the accounts payables. A motion is made by me, second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of approving the accounts payable, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it unanimously. Okay, number 5, consider an act on camera bids for LEC and related matters. I call to the podium here, Mr. David Sons of Goldsmith and Sheriff Jones. Good morning, and thanks y'all for coming. And I'll prep this up a little bit. So everybody's been doing their due diligence work, commissioners, on this. We had a panel, myself and Commissioner Williams was involved in several Zoom meetings with Goldsmith and these companies, along with Sam Goldsmith, David Sons, Sheriff Jones and staff, 3 or 4 people there. And spent a lot of time, like I said, doing our due diligence, trying to figure out the best choice for Mills County. So, Mr. Sons, you want to go ahead and take over?
Yes, sir. I want to thank you for letting us come in and talk to you today about this. So we worked very diligently as a panel to come up with the 2 vendors that we thought most closely met the needs of Mills County. The 2 vendors that we came up with were CML and MTS. If you figure on the summer, we took great care in trying to make these apples to apples comparison between the 2 companies. And both of these vendors were well qualified. A little bit of time, let's do that.
And refresh everybody's, and by listening, we had 5 total vendors, correct?
correct.
And submit bid for this camera project.
That is correct. So as you scan down through there, let's go to. We really had apples to apples. They were very close. So let's go to the total cost of ownership summary on page 2. Well, we can go up to the top for the price. For CML was $562, $313.05. And the cost for MTS was $553, $800. So they're very close in price. When we look at the total cost of ownership over the first 3 years, we can see that the best value as far as price goes was CML. And I'll let the sheriff talk about anything else he wants to talk about those particular vendors.
Several of the things that we considered there about each vendor, certainly besides the price, was what they would be able to provide for Mills County and the hardware that they were going to be using. One of those was, were they going to be installing a non-proprietary system that handles all the locks and things of that nature. So when we think of proprietary over non-proprietary, the system that's in there now was a proprietary system. As it is failing, that does give us quite a lot of trouble because the folks that handled that proprietary system are now out of business. So one of the things that was very important to us was a system that was non-proprietary. CML, they will be using a non-proprietary system where MTS will be using the proprietary system. So that was one of the considerations in what would be beneficial for the jail, the county, and cost of maintaining that system later on down the road. So that was one of the things that was considered. One of the other things that was very important to the jail was which one of these, how accessible would locking mechanisms be to the company when they were repairing anything in the jail. CML actually houses inventories, I should say, the locking system. So when I say locking system, I'm not talking about the mechanical lock that goes in the door. CML actually inventories those items. So if you have a failure in one of those items, and then CML has that stuff on the shelf, the repair time on that would be substantially shorter than the company would have to outsource that now and get that into their location and then bring that, make that repair. So when we think of a jail lock, I'll give you, for instance, one of those cells back there is a 6-man cell. If you suffer a lock mechanism issue and there are 6 prisoners behind that lock, now you have to have a location for those 6 folks because they can no longer be housed in that cell with that lock mechanism problem. So that means you're either going to move them out into now 2-man cells, which means you're going to have authority, or outsource them. If you're running your jail at pretty much capacity, you can see the issues that would turn into. So that was important to us in making the selection here as well. So that was another consideration. One of the other considerations that David alluded to just a little bit was total ownership, which is now cost in the next 3 years of maintenance systems and things of that nature. And I'll let David speak to that.
And commissioners, I'll also add that jail standards has been thoroughly researched and checked into by the sheriff's department, by Goldsmith, because jail standards has all those rules and requirements, correct, Sheriff?
We did reach out to jail standards, the executive director, and asked him what would be required there. Those things are laid out in the jail standards themselves. We certainly would have to notify them. And then as these things are being done, camera systems replaced and things of that nature, certainly a notification, and then they'll want some kind of a report on what our strategy will be for making sure that those folks are in a place that can't be interfered with while they're doing the replacement of the cameras, and then also in a place where they can be monitored while that camera is down. So things of that nature, yes.
Okay.
All right, so if we look at the cost of a project this size, the initial cost is important. And we can see the 562 versus the 553 CML versus MTS. But what we also have to look at over time, what is it going to cost us? So we asked them for a maintenance contract price per year for not only the electronic equipment, but also for the jail. And as you can see here, we've got the prices for years 1 through 3. And if you look at that, and you can see that CML at this point is the best value. And as you go on through time, that's going to exponentially get greater as far as the value of CML's market. So our recommendation is we go with CML.
Okay.
I have one question for the sheriff. Didn't hear a while back, did we go into a contract with a company that's supposed to periodically come by and check the
So we
Jail
did-
locks are not.
We did look at that company, we did contract with them, they did come and do some lock maintenance for us, as they did, that was Van Hellion. That was the first time that any of those locks had been serviced, over the 9 years that had been out there, but we did not enter. into
Okay.
contract.
So that would put that in these maintenance contracts, right?
So what Van Hellion did, CML is capable of, and we were not aware of that at the time when they did it with Van Hellion. But CML is capable of that. And in this, it is in this maintenance contract, all of those things. So when you actually read through that maintenance contract that I have here, one of the things that CML mentioned about all of that, what they do besides look at the locking mechanism itself, they also look at, is the door hinges and things of that nature still in good order? Is the door swinging properly like it should? Because when you think of a locking mechanism like that, if you get thousandths of an inch, right, as that door swings and closes, if it binds that lock in at all, then it doesn't lock correctly. So the entire door itself is just as important as the locking mechanism when we think of clearances as tight as what they are on those electronic locks. And each one of us had experienced that with our own doors in our house, right? If you have to wiggle it a little bit or turn the knob or push on it or something of that nature to get that door to seal correctly or lock correctly, then that becomes an issue. That thing should be closed, everything functions like it should. So when CML does that, they entertain the whole door in that service contract and not just the locking mechanism itself. So there's a lot that's looked at.
Commissioner Williams, you got comments? You've been in a lot of these meetings too.
Where's the rest of the money come from?
Say again, sir?
The rest of the money, where's it gonna come from?
Several places, so that was one of the things that we looked at. We know that we appropriated 500 in that line item for that replacement, and we see that that comes in over that. So before we can sign any contracts, we were well aware that we would have to earmark that money, so we looked in several places, and we do have it. One of the things that helped us a little bit is we had budgeted a pretty large amount for a water softener system that is not going to be replaced in this jail. So there's some money there. There's also other monies in that maintenance fund. So that it's there.
But the water softener has to be replaced.
There are some things we're going to do to mitigate that, but that is going to be expensive. That's another circumstance where we'll have to do some moments.
So Judge, how does this I mean, I wasn't able to be on the meeting on Friday. How does this gonna work? Does he have to earmark each one to approve this, or do you know, or has anybody talked to the treasurer, the auditor, or anything like that?
Did you talk to her one time?
No, not on the final figures.
Yeah.
She just said we'd had to have it
Yeah,
to approve it. She thought we had to have it, everything earmarked, so. I don't know on that, but, my other one is if you're looking at this time frame that's on there, guys, if y'all see that, they're both 6 to 7 months. Let's just say 7 months. Well, if y'all do the math, that's gonna put us in a different budget cycle.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
Well, we're 7 months now. If they can get it done, they can still have it done before the budget turn. Right, David?
Depends on when the project starts.
depends on when it starts.
And there's going to be a lot of
Well, your maintenance fees, the 3-year maintenance fees, do they have to be paid, or do they get paid as the year rolls around? So that would be something not
Yeah.
$20,000-$30,000.
Well, so Dale, I asked that question in the meetings. I wanted to make sure that they weren't gonna stick us, like $50,000 every year that we're gonna have to pay. And so I wanted them to tell us what that's gonna look like. And so that gives us a ballpark. It at least gives us sure so he can budget for the next 3 years of how he's gonna manage this.
That's specifically what we asked.
Yeah. And so,
Commissary funds were also talked about too at one time, correct?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah, there's several places where that money exists.
To come in and take care of this.
And I'm glad to sit down with anyone of you.
And I'm-
Most certainly, they have to sit down with the treasurer and earmark.
Right, I would figure that since he's saying that there's money there, then all we'd have to do later on is do a line item transfer.
Yes, I think so.
Once you get toward the end of the year, correct, Judge,
Fiscal
don't you
year, yeah.
think?
I think that'd be
And
fine.
then to make it, I mean, is that what y'all guys are looking at there? If he says there's money there, so. I don't see on this, I can't remember, David, what was the training situation? What did they both say? Did they both say they were gonna do a training time in there? Okay,
Right, when they turn over the documentation, everything's totally documented, where the cameras are, the IP addresses of the cameras, all that information that we would.
so that would be ours from now on.
That's correct, that's information that provided us, so we would be able to.
So if we're not around,
That's
the
correct.
next generation can take care of it.
Well,
Okay.
if we're not around and they're not. So if we choose to go to a different company or something of that nature, that complete build sheet would exist, blueprints, everything of what all took place would be there for. Well, just like we're experiencing now, right? So one of the older systems that's in there is the Argos system. And we see that it's now out of business itself, so. There's many things that can change and that can encourage, everything that they do will be done.
So to add up on this, guys, they also, they're upgrading, so there's new cabling and stuff like that. So it's gonna be generational, and not just some of that is analog that's in there and that's going away, and because you can't get analog anymore.
As
So
we've heard before, the
so-
concerns are the previous system recording is not doing as good as jobs it probably needs to be, getting old technology, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct, so those analog cameras,
Uh-huh.
so we're putting in digital cameras with the cabling that should last 20 years. And that's,
and
And the retention rate is gonna be 30 to 45 days.
it has to be 45 days.
Yeah, 45 days, yeah, 45 days.
By jail standards.
It's 30 days, is that correct or not?
So jail standards is 30 days,
Yeah.
that's what they require. The 45 number comes from us, just making sure that there was that much time there. In this bid here from both companies is 90 days. So we'll have the amount of evidence storage that we'll need. So when you think of that storage as well, it's also in what frame rate you record that. So I think what we'll have the ability to do here with 90 days for the storage and some of those locations, instead of 15 frames per second, you get 30. So when you think of frame rate and storage in the 15 frame per second, the storage system itself, when you don't have the ability to see minute movements at 15 frames per second as you do 30. So when we think of those locations, like the booking area where the most likely circumstance is for there to be an issue or something of that nature, you might have those cameras at 30 with the extra storage that we have that wouldn't eat up too much of our storage. And that's also something we can analyze as well to look and see, is it going to cause us a problem? Is this working correctly? Things of that nature.
Could that be changed?
yes, sir.
If you're saying that, what,
Program along the cameras.
Yeah, and so when that 90 days goes down when you go up on the frame rate, you know what I'm saying? So if you're at 15, you're gonna have some extra, but if you go some of them to 30, it just starts taking it down. I learned a lot on that through these because I had no.
how many cameras are they talking?
It's,
So it's on their 90 fiscals, yeah, 108, 119, yeah.
One of them was 100, the other was 108.
Yeah, very well with the company. So it's on your first page there, it's lined out in 6.
Well, and like I said, the due diligence has been used several times. We've spent a lot of time, y'all have, Sheriff's Department has, to work on this. And I think we all came to the right conclusion, CML is the best company for
I
it.
think we've looked under every rock.
I think we have. So.
I'm very pleased, guys, with the due diligence, like the judges say.
Actually, it's very beneficial to us to have Commissioner Williams sitting on there so that he can also provide some insight for the county as well.
Mhm.
So I think we're on the right track.
Okay. Commissioners, any other questions? Here, and then I'll make a motion that we approve CML for
camera bids. Is that the best way to approach that motion? The motion has been made to approve the CML for the camera bids. I made the motion, second by Commissioner, over here.
So,
Yeah. Any other discussion or anything? All those in favor of approving the, camera bid to CML, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, thank you. Number 6, consider act on budget amendments related matters. Commissioners, this is an item we worked with on a couple of weeks ago. Pretty straightforward regarding this county attorney's office, moving some funds around, and from investigator, victim assistant coordinator for some taking care of the bill. I'll make a motion. We approve this budget amendment. Motion been made by me, second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of approving the budget amendment, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 7, consider act on declaring.
But I had a question. This is $7,000. Did they have the other 1,600 already somewhere?
It's
no,
in,
it's in the miscellaneous,
it's in that already in that
there's
count.
there's $2,000 in miscellaneous, so I think that's not pretty miscellaneous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aye.
All good? So you have an eye too? Yeah, so made a motion to approve the budget amendment. All those in favor of the budget amendment, say aye. Aye. And we got, aye from Commissioner Portman?
Yeah.
Okay, we got 5-0 approval for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 7, consider acting declaring an office chair from County Extension's office as scrap and related matter. I'm sure the old chair is worn out, so I'll make a motion to declare the office chair as scrap. Second by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion? All those in favor of declaring office chair as scrap, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 8, consider an act on declaring Dyson V8 cordless stick vacuum from maintenance as scrap. This is from Guy Burns. I know it quit working and he uses a vacuum cleaner quite a bit all throughout the courtrooms and everything. So I'll make a motion. We approve that as scrap. All those, I'll make a motion. Second by Commissioner Subwell. He beat you, Commissioner Head. I made a motion, second by Commissioner Sullivan. All those in favor of approving the cordless stick vacuum the scrap, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have that. Number 9, consider an act on declaring used cutting edges 46 as salvage property to be recycled with proceeds to be returned to line item 14-400-324 and related matters. Commissioner Williams, I believe this is yours, sir.
Yes, sir. I've got 46 cutting edges. I need, I don't have any, they're falling off the racks now, so I need to take those to the recyclable bin and you have to take them separately and then they pay you separately, so.
Well, I got a question on that.
Yeah,
One, you're putting it in this line, that would change, I didn't think you could do that, because that would change your budget. And 2, when I take something to scrap, I gotta get a run to the bid deal. Or why is that?
so I gotta declare these as surplus
Okay.
and then I'll post it. And then I'll take them, or I can do it the other way around. I mean,
I don't know, man, I was just asking.
no, but I don't know. Over the years, I've always put it back into that line item.
That changes your budget for the year though.
I mean, when we sold stuff, it always went up above it, because I know I've tried, and Dell's tried to put in our miscellaneous line item, it always went up
Okay,
in the total no, so.
I mean, you can put it there, but it's gonna be on top of, you may not ever get to use it. What I'm saying,
right.
cause that budget has to be completely depleted before that money even comes in.
Right.
Or that's
Yeah.
what we've been told.
Okay, well, we'll just table it then and I'll redo it for next one.
Or you just stretch that line item, not go on with it.
Well, that's not how it's worded on here, so
Okay, so,
make a motion that we table it.
okay, motion been made by Commissioner Williams to table it,
Second.
second by Commissioner Portman. All those in favor of tabling, number 9, say aye. Aye. All opposed, the ayes have it. This will be tabled till next Commissioners Court, and that number 9. Number 10, consider an act on agreement for road work, ROW work on County Road 527 and precinct 4 and related matters. Commissioner Williams, go ahead, sir.
So you have that in your packet. The county attorney, I've visited with him and I come up with this, agreement. We're doing a right of way work and he's in the right of way, this landowner. But we're gonna end up getting into the fence. The telephone co-op has been working with us here too. This fence is completely fallen over. The road is in terrible shape. It got worse when we did when the bridge on 508 got shut down. They started using this as the detour route. And, anyway, I've got both landowners on both sides of the road, are wanting this fixed. Smoky Bend also uses this as a route that they drive on very regularly. And so, the landowner has got a fence, company that will come in and construct the fence. And as you can see, the rate that's on there versus the rate that the landowner would do. So basically, I'm buying a right of way. The attorney told me that the county is permissible to do this, to buying the right of way and reconstructing the right of way.
Is that gonna have to be surveyed and everything? Off of that land?
The landowner has already gotten it surveyed. So,
And 527.
attorney asked me to bring this to the court to let y'all review this, ask questions or whatever y'all wanted to do.
Yeah,
So
where did, that come from? I've never
What-
seen it.
what's this? This
The
agreement?
Fence agreement,
This, him and I created this.
okay.
So that's where it come from.
Cause we've got the same issue, but that said $2 for the county and $3 for the landowner. What if a landowner, if we use this one place, looks like we're gonna have to use it everywhere.
Well, I asked the county attorney that, and he says that's why we do this per job, per area. I don't know that, to be the honest answer to that.
I'd never seen that. And I thought,
It
well,
was something that we created, so.
And you said this about Smoky Bend and.
Yeah, so if you go down 508, which most people know, that goes to Mullen and goes and Browns Creek and stuff, there's a small road that cuts off that goes back to the west. And it comes into the Smoky Bend
Okay, main
gate
entrance, okay.
into their main entrance.
I know where it is, yeah.
And there's a low water crossing down there, or I guess you call it low water. There's a box culvert down there and it would be the northern side of the road is the fence and entail.
Okay.
And so and the co-op has went back. We've been working on this a little while. The co-op set their line, the landowner allowed them to move back into their property and moved it off of the county road. In the facts of, how the co-op usually puts their line in our right of ways, the ditches are too deep and
Yeah.
it just, anyway, it's,
Okay.
so again, I'm bringing it to y'all to give y'all's opinion. This is something that the landowner would sign and he would sign, he would pay for the fencing and then we would have to buy the right of way, basically cost there. So the build the fence is $5 a square foot, if you can figure that out.
Yeah.
No,
Linear foot. yeah.
linear.
Linear
Yeah, just
foot,
foot.
not a square foot.
So there's gonna be money exchange for county money exchange for the right of way also?
No, that'll be
And
part
fencing.
of it. Mhm.
Yeah. I read, I don't know how I feel about that, cause I think he's gonna get in, not buying right of ways, but, even like what we've got on the boxcar. I have talked to that landowner about clearing the side of the road. There's 3 old fence rows in that. It would benefit him because it's gonna let him move his fence back out to where it should be.
Correct.
But at the same time, it's gonna benefit us if he'll let us file all that stuff on him too. As to the possibility of, if he'd do that, letting him in this more of a workshop deal. us building him a fence at the end of it. You know,
Right.
I don't
Well,
know, it probably works.
I don't know. I was just trying to go the cheapest route that I could get it done. The other way is that you gotta buy the land, you own the land, you have to have it surveyed, done all that other stuff, and he's just willing to redo the fence. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Just like any others have done in every precinct, they'll build a new fence and move it back or give us 2 or 3 inches or whatever they. Some of them give us way too much. I got one landowner that gave us like 15 foot. Well, I don't want that much. Because that means we have to,
More shredding you gotta do.
that's more shredding that you gotta do, there's more labor that you
Or a higher
gotta
road,
do. It's just whatever y'all, I mean, if y'all wanna have questions, if y'all wanna visit, if y'all wanna go out there and look at it, I just wanted to get this ball rolling. I can't, it's hard to do something right now anyway until 508 bridge gets open. Because this is gonna reconstruct that whole road. And that means the detour would be closed down for a little, during times, so.
So, wait, we 5.72.
Yes, and so we're hoping that bridge gets open pretty soon, and then
You get that bridge open, Dale.
Yeah.
we've asked.
Okay, commissioners, what do you want to do on this?
Looks fair enough to me.
Okay. Your motion to approve it?
Always. Make a motion to approve this and ROW.
Okay. Motion been made by Commissioner Head to approve the
Right away, work.
ROW work contract for County Road 527. Here's a second. Second by Commissioner Sullivan. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the agreement for the road work on County Road 327, say aye. Aye. Oh, excuse me, 527, not 327, 527. Say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passes. Number 11, Commissioners' request reports. Commissioner Sullivan, go ahead, sir.
Well, we finished County Road 317, finally, we finished it. And while we still had moisture around, we started blading over 500 roads, and then we moved to the 400 roads. And we got some of them, and then the wind picked up, started drying them out, so we don't have any moisture in it. So we're just trying to fill in some potholes now that we can get done and pack in, then we go back to blading and finishing the 400, then move to 300. I'm hoping we get some rain next week.
We need some rain, awfully dry.
It is dry. Right there.
Okay.
So,
Commissioner Head, go ahead.
Well, we got, since the ice storm, we got, every road except for 3 bladed. 3 we didn't blade, but nothing really wrong with them. So we got that done, and, we're gonna start trying to haul on 222 this week. And, see if we can't do some repair on that. It's pretty gnarly.
Okay, Commissioner Porter?
We hauled on a FEMA project, 1.3 miles, County Road 232. Had a little, about 30 loads on 234, went ahead and hauled that while we were hauling. Bridge on County Road 508, I'm not catching anybody out there. It looks to me like all the concrete work is done. Now they're by TxDOT engineer. They're gonna come back and put 8 inches of base on top of the concrete. Which makes absolutely no sense, but I can't control that. And then they'll have to put their metal guardrails out 100 foot from each side. The construction of the bridge is done. It's just getting the final work done.
Okay.
And I know people have been complaining, but that total bridge project started October 27th. So I really think these guys, with the weather stuff we had in January, they've been very timely. It's just trying to get, they got a good bit of hauling to get 8 inches of base on top of that bridge, then the ascents coming up each side, so. Hadn't been able to catch anybody out there. Are avidly working, got a phone call this morning at the workshop discussion, Bill. We're gonna clean out the creekway around the boxcar. Need to get that done, so. Got not a bid, we're just gonna go ahead and do it because it needs to get done before we get some big rains. Get the creekway cleaned out, get what boxcar open that we can in case of big spring rains if we make it. And now we met with engineers, trying to find out whether something on the county road has to be an engineered project, because what the engineers are professing, we're not gonna have the money to do that. So, kind of working all over the precinct. That's it.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Ford, Commissioner Williams.
First, I hired a new road hand. His name's Thad Alt. He's from Lomita. He's already got his CDL. He's already got, he's worked on a ranch. He's got all of his, he's running a maintainer. So, last week we bladed several roads and he did really good at them. And then, he's pretty good at cleaning up on entrances. That's what that's downfall to the one that left. So, so you get one there, get one the other way. Also been working on culverts on 528. Besides blading, and then we've done some, hauled the red dump truck to Brownwood and got it in the shop. It's been down for quite a while, and so we've got it done, and I guess that's it.
Okay.
Today.
Number 12, County Judges Report. We have a workshop starting in 10 minutes or 8 minutes actually at the Law Enforcement Center. Then as a reminder, everyone today at 1:30, we have a safety meeting also at the Law Enforcement Center, 1:30. And that's all I got. So number 13, adjournment. I recommend we adjourn. Second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of adjournment say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Time is 9:52. David County Hearts, you're real quick, sir. Everybody have a good day. We'll see you at the Law Enforcement Center in a few minutes.